You will enjoy psychic entertainer Rick Finbow.
I'm going to give you a general reading first.
He's been helping people realize their potential for over 40 years, offering one-to-one and group sessions as well as keynote performances around the world.
I use tarot cards to help me focus my intuition.
Over 1,800 performances at the MGM Grand Las Vegas. Witness a combination of magic, mysticism, astrology, numerology, and tarot. Rick's shows are rich in demonstrations of ESP and psychic abilities, leaving you with a feeling of wonder and awe.
But there's a lot of things that are happening right now in the world that are amazing.
You just might learn a little about yourself during his show, too.
A new relationship within ourselves.
20 to 90-minute performances are available depending on the venue.
Focusing on what we want.
Psychic entertainer Rick Finbow.
And then the universe will give you more of it. And more of it.
For details and booking, go to psychicrick.com.
And now, here's Rick.
Hey everyone, it's Psychic Rick Finbow here. PsychicRick.com is my website. And we have another episode of Ask Psychic Rick Anything. That's exactly what it is. You can ask me any question about your future, about your past, about anything. And we have a special guest star today. We have a special guest. His name is Roger King. He helps people with their social media so they can focus on their business. He's social media strategist and content creator and owner of Roger King Bits. RogerKingBits.com is his website. He's here with us. And he's also married to our friend and our mutt master, Deb Nab, the mutt master. And they have 10 rescue dogs. Yay. Here's Roger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, it's we've known each other for a while. I recognize the voice on your promo that ran just now.
Yes.
Sounds
You
vaguely
may recognize
familiar. Yeah, so we've known each other for a long time. We've been coming to see you for quite a while. I remember one of the first times we saw you, you said, I see you guys living next to water. And we're going like, okay, well, I don't know. What? And then she goes, no, a big body of water. So we're thinking ocean, Pacific Ocean. And we don't know. Comes out this past year, we moved to Nebraska and we live a half a mile from a big lake. It's like you called it 10 years ago. Pretty amazing.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
Yes. So the reason why I invited Roger on is because we have a lot of people that have their own businesses that watch. We have the New Thought Media Network that's all into social media and things like that. So you can help people with your expertise in social media. Tell me a little bit about how you started in social media.
Well, I worked in radio. I started out working as a public service announcer guy. I used to work in the news department at KDKB in Phoenix. I graduated with a broadcast degree from Arizona State. And then I won a bunch of awards for my public affairs shows. And then one year, one of the sales guys said, hey, can you help me write a commercial? And I went, sure. I wrote a commercial for him. He entered it in a competition and ended up winning the best commercial of the year. So I was going like, well, that's kind of a calling. So I became a copywriter. I wrote copy for radio stations for 2 or 3 years, became a production director, got into creative director. A creative director is the guy who does the stuff that you hear on the radio. It's not a DJ talking. It's not music. It's not a commercial. It's the little info, entertaining things between the songs. I call it stationality. So I did that for about 30 years. I was on air. I did, did all kinds of stuff at the radio station, and they let me go. It was like, I went, what? So I was too old, made too much money, and it was time for me to leave. So I had to find a new career. And since I've been doing the same thing all these years, it just was a natural progression. People are going from radio to social media. They're going to different places to get their radio, their music, their stories. And social media has provided that. And so that's where I got my start.
Yes. And we call that a spiritual victory when something happens like that, like the rug's pulled out from underneath your career, and then it turns out to be the best thing that could have happened when you look back on it, right?
A total blessing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. So I have a question for you, because people will want to know, how can people be more effective on social media?
Great question. So, when you're on social media, I like to say it's important to give and not ask. Don't try and sell something, try and share something. The more you share, the better chances. It's called the know, like, and trust factor. People whiz by it on social media. They talk about it all the time, but know, like, and trust. What does that mean? You want people to get to know you. Remember when you used to listen to radio shows, the morning show on your drive to work, and you got to know these people, and they were like, oh my God, I love these people. I feel like you could go have a burger with them. They were your friend. You really knew them. So when you get to know somebody on social media, you get to know them, and then they kind of like, oh, well, who is this? And they start looking on your profile, and they start digging deeper. They start stalking you a little bit. They know you. They start liking you. They start trusting you. And when you have the know, like, and trust, once you have that, there's a better propensity for someone to purchase from you, because they feel like you're buddies. So it's important to know, like, and trust. So I would say I like to encourage people to get in front of the camera. When you get in front of the camera, it allows people to see you face to face. It's known as the parasocial relationship. The parasocial relationship is like, everybody thinks that Oprah Winfrey's famous because she's Oprah Winfrey, but the fact is, Oprah Winfrey was on TV for 20 some odd years, and you saw her every day. You saw what she did. She shared her life. She shared her feelings. She shared her stories. And so you felt like, oh my God, let's go get a cup of coffee with Oprah. But it goes beyond that. The parasocial is like when you're posting something on social media, it's your brain can't tell the difference. It's lighting up the same thing as if you're going to have a cup of coffee with someone. And the reason TikTok is so popular is because they turn the phone up and down. It takes up the whole screen. And so you have a whole face-to-face with these people, and you're talking to them, and you feel like you know them. And so when you get on social media, when you share your content, when you share what you know, share your life, share your story. Like in Instagram, it says stories. They're called stories in Instagram for a reason. It's where you share your story. There are people who are already following you on Instagram, but you put your stories up there to show, here's what we're doing. Hey, look, we're going for a walk. Hey, look, we're eating sushi. Hey, we're petting the dog. You share your stories on Instagram. And then now Facebook has also added that. So TikTok has really changed the game for everybody. So what was that? What else was I talking about? Social, know, like, and trust.
Well, you taught me throughout the pandemic. I hired you to help me with my social media during the pandemic. And you taught me to be more on, like, don't just post a picture, post a video, be on, be live, be doing podcasts, things like this too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I see that, like, my favorite social media platform is Facebook. And on Facebook, I follow people like Marie Osmond, Donnie Osmond, all my favorites, Idina Menzel. and they're on and they're like talking about their life. So it does make you feel like you're part of their life rather than they're just this performer on stage and you only see them when you buy a ticket.
Absolutely. It makes such a huge difference. It really does. And so I encourage you, and if you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to be on camera. You can take pictures of your dog and talk about it. If you're wanting to follow your dog around and have some enlightenment, you want to share a story about your dog, just having your voice on there sometimes, or just put a picture of yourself up there and then do a voiceover. If you need help with videos, I do videos like the one you saw at the beginning. And there's questions already. Here we go. So there's lots of opportunities. And when you're on social, go with the one you know. Like like I'm on all of them because I have clients on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn. So I'm kind of familiar with all of them. And each one has their own personality, and people flock to the one that they like. Like I didn't think I was going to like TikTok. I like TikTok. I get into TikTok, but I love Facebook and I like Instagram too. So it's easy for me to flip between the two. But if you're posting, you want to go with the one that you know. Post on the one that you are comfortable with. Yeah. And once you get comfortable with that, then maybe add a second and then a third and then a fourth. And as far as frequency, there's a guy called Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's a super famous. He's on every platform. He's got a media company. He's extremely successful. And he says, you can't post enough. The more you post, the better. And you think of it. Do you know who Tom Shane is? The guy, the jewelry guy?
Yes.
Tom Shane commercials. Yes. So Tom Shane, here's what I like to use. Tom Shane it's called reach and frequency in radio. Tom Shane, you hear his commercials. He's got this sort of droll, I'm Tom Shane. If you ever want to buy some diamonds, you've got to come to my store. But he's on year round. I mean, he increases it during Christmas and just before Valentine's Day, but he's on year round. And the reason is because he's always there. He sells a lot of diamonds. He sells a lot of jewelry because he's always reminding you that he's there. Same as Bud Light. Bud Light is the #1 beer in the world. Certainly not the best tasting beer, but they market. They're in your face all the time. You always know there's a Bud Light, Super Bowl commercials, and you see them all the time. The reason they're there is because you're there all the time. So by being consistent, by posting consistently on a regular basis on whichever platform you are, as long as you're consistent and you keep at it, your followers will come.
Yes, excellent. And so your website is rogerkingbits.com. We put that up. Kimberly from Texarkana, Texas said, please put that in the comments, and we did. And Diego Rios, who is our producer, has put that up there again. Please check that out. And Holly Duckworth, a really good friend of ours, said, conversations and community matter. Thanks for doing this, Rick Finbow. And she is the master of mindfulness. So you might want to get in touch with each other, Roger and Holly. That would be great. And
absolutely.
I also want to say, we've talked about this, being on all those platforms. And I've brought it down to just really focusing on 2. I have really 3 or 4, but I really focus on Facebook and on YouTube. Because to me, that as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, and I'm doing it by myself, it's enough. That's enough for me. So, and that's what you taught me too. You said, do the one that you like. I love Facebook. So why wouldn't I focus on that?
And I'll give you one more. You can sort of up your game just a little bit, because everybody uses Google. And you think of when you use Yelp, you're looking for a restaurant. The reason Sushi Den is a monster. Go to Sushi Den and look up Sushi Den on Yelp, and they have 2,500 reviews. And then you go like, oh my God, 4.5 stars, 2,500 reviews. We're going to Sushi Den. The same thing is with Google. You want people, you make it easy for people to share your what they do. If you've had somebody had a really successful reading and they got something out of it, send them to Google and tell them to do a Google review for you. Start growing your Google responses, because it's going to be like, hey, Google, can you show me where I can get a psychic? And they're going to go to the one that's on the top. Or if you want through name recognition, hey, Google, show me Psychic Rick, and it'll take you right to where Psychic Rick is. So you want to get the Google responses, do it with however you do it, encourage that, and you will thrive.
Yes. And we have, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll read it for you, Roger. We have a question from Holly Duckworth. Curious at this time of year, Roger, what's your take on building out an annual social media content calendar versus posting in the moment?
They're both excellent. You do the calendar. It gives you, you're prepared. You know exactly what you're going to say, exactly when you're going to post it. So I think having a set calendar is awesome. You can't go wrong. There's a gazillion of them. You can find what to post and how you can post, and then you're in charge of it. There's also the benefit of being spontaneous and live. I would do a combination of both, because sometimes when you get in front of the camera and you're like, what am I going to talk about now? You have to have a plan. You have to know where you're going. And by having a calendar, that certainly helps.
Excellent. That's great advice. And Holly also wrote, random fact, the Google review, here it is online. I did for Rick Finbow, has over 500 views. The Google sent me a note this past week thanking me. Yes. And thank you, Holly, and anybody that wants to do a Google review for me. I just learned this, that when you send like the link to give somebody a review, they're not counting that anymore. So it has to be like organic from somebody just going on and looking up Denver Psychic Rick Finbow and posting on, giving me a Google review on their own, rather than me sending them a link, which I only did a couple times anyway. But I just learned through Google that they're not counting that as like your total amounts of reviews. So anytime, and also anytime you can review anybody, any restaurant, anybody, that helps everybody.
It certainly does.
Yeah, do that.
And so the Google reviews, it's not going away. It's just going to get bigger. It's like you ask the one for Amazon, you say, hey, where can I find this? It's becoming more prevalent. AI is going to be everywhere. If you're not involved with that, you're missing out. And if you're not posting on social, if people can't find you on their phone, you are missing out. So post on social.
Yes. Thank you so much. We are so blessed by having you today. Thank you, Roger. RogerKingBits.com is his website. If you'd like to reach out to him, there it is on the podcast here. And we will move on with our show. Thank you very much,
Rick.
Roger. And
thank you so much.
Yes. Remember that if you are going to ask a question, it's #ask, so we can see that it's a question. And I'll answer it with the cards, or I'll answer it personally, whatever you want to do. And Holly Duckworth says, glad to chat with you both. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. So if you have a question, Holly or Kimberly or anybody that's on, now is a good time to ask. And I will start off with a general reading for the month of December. I haven't even promoted that yet. Haven't sent it out in my emails yet, but we can give you a general reading for the month of December, seeing that this is December 1st. We will be here every first Thursday of the month. I want to thank New Thought Media Network, ntmedia.org is their website, and also Reverend Briz for having me here, and Diego Riez, our producer. So it does say that there's going to be some change coming up at the beginning of December, which means things will change, things will move, things will happen that you might not be expecting. But then you have the Princess of Swords. We have the Princess of Swords here. The Princess of Swords really kind of like is figuring out what she wants or he wants. It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. It's just that you're figuring out what you want. So the change will allow you to do that. Step back and try to figure out what you want in your life. The next one is the Knight of Cups, which means that emotionally, you need to be more open and honest with yourself So the things that are changing in December, we're going to get more like, I'm going to be more open and honest. I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable. And then the Seven of Swords comes up also, which is a futility card. It's a mental fear of futility. It's not actual. It's a mental fear that things aren't working out. But then we get the Nine of Cups right after that, which is happiness. And it's emotional fulfillment and happiness. So it looks like in the month of December, we have this changes coming up. And it makes sense because we have the holidays. No matter what holiday you are celebrating, that is the holiday season. It kind of brings up a lot of emotions. Sometimes we're feeling sad that we are missing people that aren't here this year, that were here before. Kind of melancholy because of the seasons, because of the holidays bring up a lot of memories. So it also says here that don't fall into that like mental construct of a fear that it's not working out. It is, and there's going to be emotional fulfillment and happiness this year. So in December. So that's good. I just want to move on a little bit more. There's also love and letting go of any letting go of things too. And then there's a gain on all levels. So we have this letting go of this mental fear of ruin or losing everything. And then we have this gain on all levels coming in. And the main card that really sticks out there is the Two of Cups, which is love. So love comes in, and then we get to move on because we got the first of the year coming up too, which means that we need to let go of some things and we need to bring in what we want to bring in, New Year's resolutions, things like that. So December is going to be a normal December, I'll tell you. Even though there's change, it's going to be a normal December because we have the emotions going up and down and all over the place because of the celebrations and the remembrances and things like that. But there's going to be love and there's going to be a gain in all levels and happiness. So just make sure that you don't fall into that trap of feeling like things aren't working out, because that's just a mental construct. It's not actual. So really tune into who you are, who you want to be, how you want to feel in the coming weeks with the holidays coming up. And also self-care, self-love, especially in December. Take care of yourself first so you can take care of others, not the other way around. We tend to, in the season of this season, we tend to want to take care of others before we take care of ourselves. And that doesn't work out because that just depletes your energy and then you won't be able to help others. So you want to take care of yourself first and then others. And we have Holly Duckworth. Rick, can you tell us a little bit about this deck and how we can get them for the holidays? Thank you, Holly, because sometimes I forget to say that. This is a deck that I created. It's called the Eye of the Soul Tarot. You can actually get it on my website, psychicrick.com. There it is for you. And it's only $29.95, and it comes with a pouch, and you can get the instructions even before you get the deck for free on my website, psychicrick.com, under the free tab, and it'll have instructions for these cards. Thank you, Holly, for asking that. Find links in this show description. Thank you. Thank you, Dee. Do we have any questions? You can just type in #ask for a question about your future, past, anything. So a global question, it could be a personal question for me, could be anything. This is called Ask Psychic Rick Anything. I see we have 2 hearts. Nice. Thank you very much. 2 hearts, meaning 2 likes, 2 loves. Ask Rick Anything. Just type in #ask. If we don't have any questions, I'll move on and I'll do your reading for the month by the zodiac elements, the fire signs, the water signs, the earth signs, and the air signs. Let's see. I'll start with the fire signs. So you Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius, this is your reading, more private reading for the month of December. I'll draw 4 cards just to see what's happening. for you fire signs. So the first card is we get that Empress card, the self-love card that I was talking about. Self-love, self-care for you fire signs first in December. Also, the Queen of Discs has a likeness of Barbara Streisand. Little known fact, the likeness of Barbara Streisand on this one is the Queen of Discs takes care of details, especially around finances. So the fire signs might be taking care of details around finances, just like Barbara Streisand. Little known fact, she happens to be a day trader. That's how she has fun. Isn't that interesting? So the next card is science and logical thinking. It means there's too much science and logical thinking. Don't analyze it too much and have more fun. We can all do that. So this is the pleasure card and fun card. Emotional, fun, and pleasure. So take care of yourself, take care of finances, and don't analyze everything so much, and have more fun in December for you fire signs. Next, we have the water signs. All right, Sonia has a question. Let's do that. I'll do the question before the water signs. So, hashtag question, am I going to move soon? Let's see if Sonia's going to move soon. So I draw 4 cards for a yes or no question. And the first card that comes up is Wheel of Fortune, which means yes. That's a big yes. This is the Wheel of Fortune, spins in your favor and gives you good luck. You also have the power. You'll have the power and control to move. Don't worry so much because you will have the money. This is worry about money, but don't worry so much. And then there's more luxury and comfort. So you will be moving, and you'll be moving to some place that feels more comfortable and luxurious. Nice. I like that for you, Sonia. Excellent. All right. Now I'm going to do the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Let's see what you have in store for December. And if anybody has a question, hashtag ask. So the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, you get the choices card. It's called the Lovers, but it means choices. It means you're going to have choices in December, and it's choices that you can take control of because you have the Emperor here, which is the card of control. And you want to be in control, not controlling. And also, you want to get off the couch. This is satiety, which means like you just need to get off the couch. You need to do what you know you need to do and do it. And you will be because the card comes up. And it does take some work. So there is some work to be done for you people that are water signs in the month of December. Work to be done, but you're going to feel like you're putting yourself more in control of things. You are in control. And you're going to be feeling like I'm ready to get off the couch and move and do things and make things work. So that's a good reading for our water signs in December. You're welcome, Sonia. And here's a question. When did you first realize you had the gift as a medium? So this is Carper Falls, Aveda Spa and Salon. Thank you. So when I realized that I was a medium when I was young, I've always been sensitive, and I was very sickly as a child because I was sensitive to almost everything, had a lot of allergies, asthma, and I was picking up everybody else's stuff around me. I was very empathic, and I allowed that. I didn't know how to ground myself as a young child, but I learned as I got older when I started to get into the teens. So I had asthma and allergies really early in life, started at the age of 5, and asthma. And that's kind of unusual for a child to come into this life with asthma. But my grandfather passed away of asthma and emphysema. And that's who I took it on from. I learned in my teens when he passed, to ground myself more and not take on other people's illnesses. And I also became interested in tarot at the age of 16. And it just kind of snowballed. Every time I was around a lot of people, they'd ask me to do readings, even if they didn't know. Somehow they would get wind of that I read the tarot, and it just kind of happened, especially around high school and college age. Just happened. I couldn't get away from it. So very interesting. And I learned to do the mediumship in classes and things like that, especially with using the tarot as my focus to help me focus my intuition and to talk to the other side. I hope that answers your question. And then I'm just going to go through the earth sign now, and then I'll take another question. So the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is your reading for December. Let's see what you have in store. And please keep asking questions. Our producer, Diego, will pick out the ones that are going to come up for me. And we have, for our earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, we have the tower. So there's a lightning struck tower. So it means that at the beginning of this month, you're going to have like a sudden change in plans. Something just happens out of the blue. But it also says not to beat yourself up over it. We have mental self-cruelty, which is beating yourself up over it. But we don't want to do that because it says you will not be seeing clearly. There's the moon, which means you won't be seeing clearly because there's actually a new beginning coming in because of all that. So this is the Ace of Cups, and it can mean a new relationship or a new breath of fresh air within a relationship. So there's going to be a sudden change in plans for you people that are earth signs. Don't beat yourself up when that happens. And also make sure that you're seeing clearly, because you're not going to be seeing clearly. And this is all going to work out to where it will be a new relationship will come into your life or a new breath of fresh air in the relationship that you're in. So that actually is a good thing. So when sudden change in plans happens, know that it's going to work out fine, and it's going to bring in a new relationship or a breath of fresh air in an old one. Excellent. So now I'll take a question. Diego, can you have, here we go, from Good Juju. Hello. Do the description on your cards have reference of the people you refer to when you explain the card? Yes. The description comes with that on the free descriptions on my website under the free tab. And you can see who they reference. They're very popular people. Like Elvis is in the deck, Oprah's in the deck, lots of different people. We have Ariana Grande, we have Alexander the Great. So and you will know, and it'll show also these cards have specific keywords on the minor cards, because these cards are taken from the Thoth deck. So like the Nine of Cups, this is a minor card. Nine of Cups will have happiness. It says happiness on it. So they all have a key word. And when you take that keyword and put it with what cups mean, cups are emotions. So this is emotional fulfillment and happiness. That's the meaning. Anyway, thank you for that question. Now I'm going to do another one of the elements, air. Our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I'm going to give you a reading for December. Let's see what you have in store. Thank you. Keep the questions coming. Hashtag ask and then the question. So you air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, have the Prince of Swords first. Prince of Swords is the likeness of Prince Harry. And the Prince of Swords is fighting for clarity mentally around which way to go next. Okay. And then the card next to it is the Empress, which is that self-love, self-care, which we've talked about already. So you air signs should be making sure that your next step moving forward is to take care of yourselves first. And then you have the Six of Discs, which is success, and it's success in the physical world. So it brings us success around your work, around your business. It has success. And then the last card that you get is the High Priestess, which means the psychic or listening to your intuition. So for you air signs, we're going to make sure that you are focusing on taking care of yourself first, bringing in success by doing that, and listening to your intuition. You won't be wrong. So that means listening to your gut instead of your head. Okay. And that's interesting because your head is your mental mind, which we started out with, which is the Prince of Swords. So if you air signs find that you're in your head too much, listen to your intuition, your gut, your heart, not your mental mind, and you'll always be right. Thank you. All right. Hashtag ask. Would like to know if going to move to another state soon. Claudine Frisky. Okay, Claudine, let's see if you'll be moving to a new state soon. We've got some moving questions. The first of the year coming up is always a good time for those questions too, around moves, job changes, things like that. So Claudine, it does say that you'll be moving to a more, you got the luxury card too, like Sonia did, a luxurious place. But you're moving because of someone is there, or you're moving with someone. So a relationship. And it says that that's the right path. You have spiritual dominion here, the right path. You have the Knight of Cups, and you have the Ace of Cups, which are all about relationships. So you may be moving for someone or towards someone. And I like that. It looks like that's part of your path. So moving out of state is definitely in your future. I like that. Thank you, Claudine. Let's see. What's the next question we have? Lisa, should I move business location at the end of February? Okay. Lisa Farinelli. Should I move business location by the end of February, or at the end of February? Let's see what we get for Lisa. You do have change. The first card is the Chariot, which means change. So the change would be good. And you have the strength. This is the strength, spiritual strength to move forward and break out of an old pattern. And on a soul level, you have the Ace of Wands. So on a soul level, it's going to be good for you to have a new beginning too, even though it brings a little bit of stress. Moving is stressful. Let's just see what the next card is though. Well, this is interesting. So you get the Devil, which is stress, but you also get the Fool, which means you're going to see that you're a fool if you miss this opportunity. So there is going to be an opportunity for you to move your business at the end of February, Lisa. Thank you. Great questions. Great questions. Excuse me. I'm going to get a drink of water here.
I am psychic medium Rick Finbow. My purpose in this work is to have you gain clarity and peace of mind in knowing that you are on the right path.
What would you like to talk about? What would you like to know?
You can truly sense and feel that he is living his purpose, he's on purpose, and he's sharing his gifts.
So if I could just get your first name and your date of birth, I do a little bit of numerology to start off with.
He's always spot on, but you can just feel his genuine care and concern to really serving you and your higher purpose.
Let's see what September has in store for us.
With Rick's guidance, I've been able to achieve a life of my dreams.
I have been offering readings professionally for over 36 years. I use tarot cards to help me focus my intuition. I'm a natural born psychic, which means for me I was an extremely sensitive child. At the age of 5, I was diagnosed with asthma and emphysema. At age 10, my grandfather passed away of asthma and emphysema. Because of this, I learned how to ground myself and not take on others' illnesses and emotions. I turned my affliction into the great gift of insight for others.
So this feels like a financial step forward from a job, not a career.
My life has taken a totally different path, a beautiful, wonderful, exciting path that I would have honestly never thought possible, never would have pursued if not for Rick's reading.
It says don't hold back. So the same thing, you guys just have fun, don't hold back.
He talked to me about quite a few things in this reading, and I have to tell you, most of them have come true, or I can tell that they're on their way. But I would highly, highly recommend anyone who wants guidance or just a light in their life, because that's what he is.
These are wild animals. Welcome to you, wild. wild and crazy.
He just brings peace to your heart and possibility to your life.
In a psychic reading, we look at the past, present, and future. In a mediumship reading, we connect with your loved ones on the other side, and this often includes pets. I offer one-on-one readings through Skype, phone, or in person at my office. Mini readings for parties and events are one of my specialties. When filling larger venues, I act as a keynote speaker and psychic entertainer. Isn't it time for clarity?
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome back, everyone. That gave me a little bit of time to just take a drink of water and to look at some of these questions, which is great. Thank you so much. And this is the next question. How is the real estate market going to be in 2023? The Tempest Group at Resident Realty wants to know. Thank you for asking that question. Let's see how the real estate market is going to be in 2023. So it's interesting. We get the Princess of Wands first, which is a likeness of Simone Biles. I know what I need to do. I just need to do it, and I'm going to do it. So that's for you real estate people in real estate. You'll know what you need to do. You just need to do it. And it will have integrity. There's integrity. This is virtue and integrity coming in, which is interesting. So in a market or a business, when integrity comes in, it means that it's going to be more balanced. It's going to have more openness, more honesty, which it needs. And then you got the Hermit or the Home. So that's interesting that we get the Home card around real estate, which is interesting and true. And we also have the Change or Move card, the Two of Discs. So there's going to be change in the market. I'm going to draw a couple more cards to get a hold of that. It says that if you love what you do, you have the Love card, you have Spiritual Dominion, which means you're on the right path. And there's also the Five of Discs, which is worry about money. But the reason why we worry about money is because we're emotionally attached to it. But if you're on the right path with the Spiritual Dominion card here, you just stay the path is what it's saying. I have a lot of real estate people, real estate agents, real estate companies that use me as their reader. And when I have been reading for them over the past few months, things are changing and there's going to be more of a balance coming in. And let me just see here. I just want to wrap this up for you. And it says that if you love what you do, if real estate is your love still, and you're on the right path by having integrity, you'll be fine through any real estate ups and downs. There's ups and downs in every business and in everything. That's how we learn, grow, and change. And that's what we're here for, to learn, grow, and expand. So the real estate market is going to be changing, and it's going to be, but it's not going to be so bad as far as there's going to be more of a balance. And if you decide, like when these things happen, some people in the real estate world might decide, hey, do I really want to do this anymore? Because it's changing. But the people that still love what they do and it's part of their path to do it, they're going to be fine. And that's what I say for you in the Tempest Group. You'll be fine. Excellent. And then I want to go back to Kimberly's question. Will I find a place to do my workshops in 2023? Kimberly, that's a great question. Let's see. Will you find a place to do your workshops in 2023? Kimberly does workshops in intuitive painting, and workshops that have spiritual methods to them. So it says that there is change. So you're going to be finding some different places, and don't analyze it so much. It is going to be in your power and control. And the art and alchemy card comes up, which is great for an artist or somebody that teaches art or intuitive painting like I do. So it means turning whatever you want into gold as long as you focus on it. So I'm going to say, Kimberly, all you need to do is focus on getting a place, not looking for a place, but just focusing on that and just knowing that you're going to find that place because it is somewhere different, somewhere that you haven't done it before, which is great. Thank you, Kimberly. And then we have Good Juju. I continually think about my deceased husband from over 20 years ago with all the hurtful memories. Why won't these thoughts go away? Is this because his spirit is around? Let's just ask that. It does say that you're actually communicating with him, and he's communicating with you because you have the wealth through communication card, and you have the strength, spiritual strength, to move forward and break out of an old pattern. So this is something that, still happening. You said it's still happening, and you also have the Princess of Swords, which means that you don't really know whether you want that to leave or not on some level. But this says by the end of the year, you have the universe card, which means that you're going to see your hopes and dreams come true within a year's time. And I am going to say that you can focus on the love instead of the bad memories. Focus on the love, because we know if there were bad memories, there were also good memories. And when you do that, you'll stop having that habit of that coming up again. It's interesting how that works. And seek out, get a reading from me or anybody that can speak to the other side and help you communicate. But you are already communicating. Think about that and trust that and know that, and maybe light a candle and say, I release you. That type of thing will help too also. So it's actually a good thing that you're going to be moving on from spiritually. You have the strength to move forward from it, which is good. Thank you. Timothy, my birthday is next week. Any surprises in the next year? Wow, let's see. Happy birthday. Any surprises in the next year? Your next revolvement around the sun. It's around the planet. So you have integrity. First, you have integrity. And then you have the Knight of Wands, which is spiritually, you'll be moving forward and feeling like you're more on the right path as far as spirituality goes. Emotionally, there's a little bit of disappointment, but then it brings up happiness. So you have emotional disappointment by looking at the glass as half empty instead of half full. And then that brings in happiness because you're starting to look at the glass as half full emotionally. So you're going to see that this year is going to be an emotionally fulfilling. Let me just see here. Hang on a second. Let me just tune into this. I want to get this right for you. Letting go of any self-defeating patterns, because you have the knowledge and wisdom to move forward, and there's opportunity. So you have this power and control. This is control, and this is power. Power and control, and then this is the Wheel of Fortune. So there's going to be opportunity for you in the next year, especially around the knowledge. This is Hermit, the home and knowledge, and gaining knowledge and wisdom, and having knowledge and wisdom. The Hermit is. So around the knowledge and wisdom that you already have, you're going to have an opportunity. And I know what that is because you're one of my regular clients, and that looks really good in what you're doing in the next year and pursuing as far as your career goes. So excellent. Let's see. I want more communication with my son. How do I do that? That's Glenda Dixon. Hi, Glenda. All right. So I'm just going to tell you what I get. So I get the High Priestess card, and the mental fear of ruin, like it's not going to work out anyway, or I'm afraid I'm losing it. But with the High Priestess first, it means listen to your intuition, your knowingness, your feeling, how it feels, and be the Queen of Wands, which is like the likeness of Oprah. Be the Queen of Wands. I know I can do this. I know I'm doing this. I know I'm communicating better. I know the communication is flowing better. And don't take no for an answer. And then you get the emotional fulfillment and happiness. The thing that has happened with the communication with your son is that you have this feeling like it's gone or you've lost it, but that's not true. And you just need to so when you're focusing on communicating, you just need to know that it's a feeling, not an actual sound. It's a feeling. It's a knowingness. I hope that makes sense. Rosa Rosario, question, perhaps I'm in the wrong place, but how can you get rid of I have a hard time with that word, malevolent spirits who refuse to leave? So not in the wrong place, but if you have spirits around you or in your abode or anywhere that you want to leave, you just need to ask them to leave and know, thank you from Glenda. Thank you, Glenda. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Stay in touch. I haven't heard from Glenda in a long time. An old friend, old flying friend. I was a flight attendant. Anyway, get rid of the malevolent. I'm not going to say that word. Anyway, the bad spirits who refuse to leave. So know that they will leave, and you can ask for help from somebody, but be sure that you're careful of who you go to. You don't really want to do spells, but you may want to do a love ritual or a ritual that will bring peace and harmony. Light a candle, a white candle, things like that. Protect yourself. Learn to protect yourself by placing yourself in a bubble. That type of thing. I'm not a fan of spells. They do work, but you really need to be careful of who you go to, because a lot of times people are asking for a lot of money for a spell, and that's not really what we are here to do. Just make sure that if you are going that route, make sure it's a flat fee and not something that they're going to ask for thousands of dollars down the road. Just be careful, be skeptical who you go to. I'm skeptical. Everybody should be skeptical too, even if you go to a reader like me and you get to say yay or nay after the reading. Did this make sense? Should I take it with a grain of salt, or do I know this is truth? And most of the time when I do readings, I ask you, do you understand that? Does it make sense to you? Do you know that you're headed that way? And you will say yes. Anyway, that's what I do. Let's see. We have time. We have time for one more question. Dawn Borg. Hi, Dawn. All these friends from the past I haven't seen. Yay. Hi, Rick. I'm wondering what is happening to my career and health. I've been injured so much in the last few years, I can't work now. Oh, and I believe that you do work with horses. You have the horse in your profile picture, but I do believe that horses are important to you. So let's just see. Can you put that question up again, Diego? Thank you. Wondering what is happening to my career and my health. Okay, let's see. So it says you are feeling kind of hopeless. This is the indolence card, which is feeling hopeless, which is natural when we have an issue or an injury. But it says the next card is the Six of Wands, which is a spiritual victory. It's all working out the way it's supposed to, even if it doesn't look like it. And you're going to find that you have the Fool, which is you're a fool if you miss the opportunity in this. So there's going to be opportunity coming up for you soon. and not to let others interfere. So this is interference. So it's mental interference from others around you. And there may be some sorrow of letting something go, but then when you let something go that you know you need to let go of, not that you, it's something you know you need to let go of here, okay, with the sorrow card. It's a mental card. It means mental sorrow or sadness. But then you have the art and alchemy card. So if you let something go that you know you need to let go, you'll have the art and alchemy card, which means whatever you focus on, you can turn into gold, which is great. You want to focus on that. And you also want to focus on don't let others interfere. So when we're dealing with an injury or a health issue, it's like we want to make sure that we're feeling what the doctors are saying, what the remedy is, what we can do. And with you, it says, don't miss the opportunity to let something go that you need to let go of anyway. Not something that you love and you have to let go. It's more of something that you know you need to let go of. And then you get to turn whatever you want into gold. So I'm going to say this is a spiritual victory because it's heading you towards the path that you're supposed to be on, no matter what it looks like. Okay. So when you look back on this time, you're going to be able to say in a few months, you're going to be able to say, wow, that worked out better than I ever thought it could. And I'm in a different place, but a better place than I was before all this happened. So it looks like health-wise and things like that just need to get out of the feeling of hopelessness and looking forward and turning whatever you want into gold as long as you focus on it. So there's things you can focus on to move forward. It looks good. Thank you. So that's all we have time for. Thank you again for everybody's great questions. Thanks for joining us. If you missed the first part of it, Roger King was my guest, and he is a strategist with the social media. Make sure that you look at this video again from the beginning to get some insight into social media, especially if you have a business. Thank you. I'm Psychic Rick. See you next month, the first